Hello everyone, this is Dr. I welcome you to my YouTube channel Pharmacypedia. In this video, we are going to discuss a very interesting topic that is about the oral hygiene, that is about the mouthwashes. Mouthwashes are widely used as a supportive therapy for the prevention of caries. Now, the main purposes of using mouthwashes are the reduction of halitosis. Halitosis is a term which is associated with a bad or mouth odor. In some people, it is found that there is a presence of bad mouth odor due to many reasons, and this is called as halitosis. Now, mouthwashes are also used for the prevention of caries. They are also used for the inflammation reduction. Sometimes, due to any problem and any cavities, or due to the plaque deposition, there may be inflammation. There may be widespread infection. So, to prevent that, as a supportive therapy, mouthwashes are widely used for the maintenance of oral hygiene. Also, it is found that they help in the pain relief reduction, and also they provide a good sort of relief in the maintenance of the oral hygiene. There are many substances which are being incorporated in the mouthwashes. We are going to here discuss about the few very important, widely used ingredients which are used in the mouthwashes of the popular products. Chlorhexidine is one of the important ingredient which is having the antiseptic property and is widely effective as a bactericidal property as well as the bacteriostatic action, and it is used for the prevention of dental plaques and oral bacteria. It is found that it is more effective against the gram-positive bacteria as compared to the gram-negative bacteria. It is used for the treatment of minor oral infections such as mouth ulcers and gingivitis, and it is also helpful in the maintenance of the oral hygiene. Phenols and essentials oils are natural substances which are used in the mouthwashes, and they are also claimed to have reduction in the oral plaque deposition and caries prevention. They reduce gingivitis. The pH of the product is low, typically in the range of 4 to 5. Therefore, their chances are that it may cause erosion of the dentine and enamel respectively. The It is found that the mouth oral lies within the acidic pH range. So, acidic substances are known to harm the dental enamel, which is very much required. Now, the disadvantage which are associated and linked up with the mouthwashes is that they actually erode the surface of the tooth, which is composed of a special substance known as the dentine. Now, when this layer gets removed, your roots gets exposed, and the chances of the sensitivity, chances of gingivitis arises. So, in order to prevent that, it has to be used in a certain percentage within a limited pH range to avoid, because over acidity will actually erode the enamel. So it is recommended to use at a neutral pH range so that the this erosion can be eliminated. So it is known that the mouthwashes prepared with the phenols and the essential oils have a strong taste, which is not that acceptable to that much extent. Moreover, it is found that it has a low oral pH in the range of 4 to 5. So definitely it gives more chances for the dental erosion. Now, it has been found that mouthwashes containing phenols related essential oil basically comprises of thymol, eucalyptol, menthol, and methyl salicylate, up to 26% alcohol. They on This combination is claimed to penetrate the bacterial plaque biofilm and thus kills the microorganisms that causes gingivitis. The third ingredient which is used in the mouthwashes is Delmopinol. Now, Delmopinol is a morpholinoethanol derivative which is effective in the inhibition of plaque and gingivitis. The main disadvantage associated with Delmopinol is that it causes the transitory numbness of the tongue, tooth, and also causes tongue staining. Fluoride rinses are popularly used for various severe conditions of halitosis, and they also assist in the prevention of dental caries by promoting remineralization with fluoroapatite and fluorohydroxyapatite, thereby increasing enamel resistance to acetatol. Fluoride rinses are popularly prescribed for various cancer patients and in various where regular mouth hygiene is required. And moreover, they are associated with sometimes with systemic toxicity and fluorosis. They are basically prescribed for severe conditions. Next ingredient popularly and widespread used in mouthwashes formulation is cetylpyridinium chloride. Now, cetylpyridinium chloride chemically is a quaternary ammonium compound with antiseptic and antimicrobial property. It is cationic in nature and binds to the bacterial surfaces, causing disruption of the cell membrane. And due to this disruption, leakage of the cellular components takes place and disruption of the metabolism takes place, leading to bactericidal activity. So it is widely used for the plaque removal and removal of halitosis. It is having strong antimicrobial properties. Next ingredient widely used in the mouthwashes is hextidine. Now, dilute alcoholic solutions of hextidine in the percentage of 0.1% and 0.14% and an aqueous solution with chlorhexidine gluconate are used as mouthwashes. I have discussed chlorhexidine earlier in my first slide also, and the combination of chlorhexidine gluconate along with the hextidine in this specific ratio is widely used as mouthwashes. Then the combination of povidone iodine is also known to provide the antimicrobial property in the mouthwashes. It lacks appreciable plaque inhibitory activity or action in acute infections such as acute ulcerative gingivitis. It is largely without side effects, but as a rinse has the potential to affect thyroid function adversely. So somewhere associated with this side effect of the thyroid functioning disruption. And also povidone iodine combination has a broad spectrum of activity against various kinds of the bacteria, fungi, protozoas and viruses. The mouthwashes has been shown to be effective in reducing the plaque and gingivitis and may be useful as adjunct to the oral hygiene. So it can be said that mouthwashes containing either of these ingredients are able to have a supportive and adjunct oral hygiene therapy and can be a powerful tool, but their use has to be limited to the extent depending on the severity of the conditions. For example, many severe conditions like cancer and other where regular mouth oral hygiene has to be maintained. Now it has to be also noticed that they are somewhere affects the dentine enamel, what do you call dentine enamel deposition. So in order to prevent that, their usage has to be limited and within the desired pH range, because very low acidic pH range basically disrupts the enamel layer, which actually further increases the problem of sensitivity. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do subscribe Pharmacypedia. Also, please provide your comments in the comment box. Thank you so much.